And now we have KTS Tulsi, Senior Advocate at the Supreme Court, joining us live here on World is One News. Mr. Tulsi, thank you so much for taking time out. I'm going to begin by asking you, what are your thoughts on today as we head into this big decision from India's top court, something that's been in the works in the courts for the last decade?
Yeah, that's true. You see, Section 377 seeks to punish the people of India for unnatural sex. By unnatural sex, they mean carnal intercourse, they mean sodomy, buggery, bestiality. But the fact of the matter is that all this has been part of our heritage, our culture, for centuries. From the time of Rig Veda, Kama Sutra, the harems of Nawabs, the tantric rituals, and this is just the Victorian culture that was sought to be imposed on us.
Absolutely.
Who have very liberal sexual orientations.
Mr. Tulsi, absolutely, completely agree with you, but do you think today the top court of India will finally decriminalize Section 377, or rather make Section 377 illegal?
You see, we believe that it's best never to try and predict the judgment. Nothing is known till the judgment is signed. But I would say that the history tells us that this is, now the science tells us that this is a matter on which people have no control. If you have, this is a kind of sexual orientation with which you are born, and you have really no control over it. It's like the color of your skin, and it's not something which you do for your volition. You have an irresistible impulse to do it, and you can't be punished for an irresistible impulse because you can't resist it. And if that's the medical science, then I think that it is unreasonable to call it a criminal offense. It can be a ground for divorce if the other partner doesn't accept this, but it can't be punishment by which will incur sentence of imprisonment.
Right.
I think it's in any case from 1860, when the Indian Penal Code was adopted, till 1992, we have the statistics. There were only 30 cases which were tried under this. Out of these 30 cases, 18 were non-consensual, so which is perfectly understandable.
Right. And
4 were consensual. Which is non-consensual can be punished, but consensual sex can't be punished.
Right.
That is what Justice Fazal Ali said in 1983. And therefore, this is the principal reason. This is just a provision of law,
right,
which is not in accordance with the medical science and in accordance with the values, the ancient Indian values.
Right, Mr. Tulsi.
I really think that it has no place. It should have no place in the statute.
Right, Mr. Tulsi, if I were to ask you, take us through in terms of the legalities of it all. We've just explained the case so far here on Wion. So the way the case so far has been and the way it stands today in front of the Apex Court, what are the likely scenarios that you see playing out?
You see, it is this. All this discussion of medical science was brought in by the judgment of the High Court, Chief Justice A.P. Shah at that time, and that is quite a scholarly exposition of voluntary, where both persons are consenting to a particular sexual activity. You can't say this is they also have the right to have sex. And this can't be denied to them merely because their orientation is different.